Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. How you guys doing? How's everything going? When it comes down to this Hall of Fame, this is quite foreign to everyone over here in the with the Premier League. This is a new concept. They've started a Premier League Hall of Fame, right? And with the Premier League Hall of Fame, they will be inducting two players to begin the Premier League Hall of Fame, and the two players they will be inducting are none other than two of the greatest strikers in Premier League history. We will get into who they are and who's being inducted, but let me explain how this works, right? So how this works is there's a Premier League Hall of Fame. They've created a Premier League Hall of Fame. It's going to be a situation where the greatest of the greatest players get in. They're going to induct two players in annually every single year, and they'll continue to do this every single year, and it's going to be tough for certain players to get in. So some of the greatest players in history will struggle to get into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to tell you that right now, right? Now, the players that got inducted, the first two inductees are none other than some of the two of the greatest strikers of all time. Two of the greatest strikers of all time. You guys already know who they are, but I'm going to put them on the screen. One of them is Henry, the Arsenal legend, the World Cup winner, the French international, the man himself, one of the greatest strikers to ever play in the Premier League. Thierry Henry is one of the first inductees. He got inducted in based on his merit of playing in the Premier League for Arsenal, winning numerous trophies, scoring a plethora of goals, doing outstanding things that some of the other players in the league only could dream that they would have been able to do. And you know what? Big up to him for coming for making it on the list. Henry, Arsenal legend. And you know what? A lot of Manchester United fans are upset about the next man who made the list. They're upset about the next man who made the list. So let me show you guys who made it. So you have two guys who made it. You have Henry, you have Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer and Henry are the first two inaugural inductees to the Hall of Fame. And you know what? They both have amazing resumes. You cannot debate that the two strikers deserve to be in there. One is England's #1 goal scorer. The other one is Arsenal's. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he is Arsenal's leading goal scorer. He also has won numerous Premier Leagues with Arsenal. Alan Shearer has won a Premier League at Blackburn. You have all the accolades that they have, individual moments of brilliance, absolutely captivating the eyes of all fans across the globe. These two guys deserve to be inductees. They deserve to be in there, and they absolutely deserve everything they get. Now, the question that everyone's putting on their mind is, why do these two deserve it? Why doesn't a Manchester United player get in? Why doesn't a guy like Roy Keane or Ryan Giggs or someone like John Terry, why don't these guys get in over these guys? You know what? They have plenty of years to get inducted. It's just they wanted to make sure the first two guys that they inducted into the Hall of Fame were two guys that represented their clubs, leagues, and are personalities that are remembered for the Premier League. I know those other guys are also remembered and they're more recent history, and you guys are always going to say, hey, shouldn't someone else have been inducted? Shouldn't someone else be inducted? But yeah, my personal opinion, these two guys are the perfect inductees to get in for the first guys to get in. And let's be real, when you think of Premier League, you think of Thierry Henry when you think of strikers. And no matter how much a fan you are of Rooney or Drogba or Van Nistelrooy or anybody else that you want for strikers, you're going to mention Alan Shearer. And Alan Shearer will always be spoken about. Always be spoken about, guys. Let's be real. Alan Shearer will always be spoken about. He's an absolute legend in the game. And you know what? Anyone who's trying to belittle these two guys as the first two guys being inducted, I don't know what you're thinking. It is absolutely an honor, and I want to congratulate the two of them, Henry and Alan Shearer, for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. They've done a great job their whole entire careers to get to this level, and just to tell you guys the magnitude of how good these guys were. If you guys haven't ever watched them, you missed out. You really missed out. You really missed out on two absolute legends of the game. Alan Shearer had over 260 goals in 441 appearances. He also won a goal. He also won the league title with Blackburn. He played in Newcastle. He won 3 Golden Boots, and he was also crowned Player of the Season a couple times. Right. Then you have on the other side, you have the flip side. You have Henry. Henry scoring all those goals, winning us numerous league titles. Also winning Golden Boot several times. I think he won the Golden Boot 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. He won Player of the Season. Also, he won Arsenal Player of the Season. countless amount of times. Let's be real. But yeah, these two guys right there, like just absolute legends to the game. And you gotta big them up for getting there. I'm happy they're there. I'm happy they made it. And you know what? Anybody watching right now, do me a favor, smash a like on the goddamn video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I am just so gassed that Henry made it. Like, let's be real. We expected Henry to make it. Look at the list of people trying to get into this Hall of Fame. There's so much people trying to get into this Hall of Fame. But for Alan Shearer and Thing to make it first, it is amazing. From all those guys who could have got in, from all of them, only Henry and Shearer were at the front of the list and got in. From the countless amount of guys you could have had in, you could have had Giggs, you could have had Scholes, you could have had Cantona, you could have had Gerrard, you could have had Roy Keane, you could have had Vieira, you could have had Lampard or Terry, you could have even had Bergkamp. But no, the main two guys who got in, first guys in the front of the queue that got into the Premier League Hall of Fame were none other than the men themselves. They're the first guys to get in. I would just like to, everyone in the chat, do me a favor, give them a round of applause. Like the goddamn video and tell me who you think should have got in. Who do you think should have got in over them? Because some people are saying, yo, it should have been a situation where some of these other guys would have got in. I'm not saying Gerrard or Lampard or any of these guys deserve to get in over them, but you have a case for the Manchester United lot. Roy Keane, Giggs, Scholes, they have a case to get in over Shearer. But at the same time, I don't want to be looked at as someone who's belittling these guys. I don't want to ever say anything bad about them. I generally feel like, you know what? This is a great thing, and you should be happy. You should be happy as a fan of football, and you should be just saying, yo, these guys did their thing. Because they did. They did their thing, and everyone knows these guys were all legends to the game. And in time, they will all probably be inducted. Let's be real. They all will probably be inducted in time. But from the guys who got inducted, I think it's only right that the two greatest goal scorers in the Premier League's history go down and get inducted. Do you guys disagree? I think so. So just to recap once again, from all these guys who possibly could have been the first inductees, Scholes, Giggs, Vieira, Gerrard, Cantona, Keane, Bergkamp, Lampard, Terry, they've chosen to induct only two have been inducted. And those two that have been inducted are two of the greatest strikers. Now, I'm not saying they deserve it over everybody else, but of course, a panel has decided that they are the first two inductees. And who am I to go against that panel and be like, hey, you should have had somebody else? No, you can have an opinion on it. But I personally think the Premier League Hall of Fame, it's right that you put the two greatest goal scorers, two of the biggest ambassadors of the game, Arsenal legend, Thierry Henry, and one of the guys who captivated the eyes of everybody. And people say to this day, he is going to be remembered as one of the greatest players of all time in the Premier League. And then you have the Newcastle, Blackburn, and English legend in Alan Shearer. So I just feel like these two could not have deserved it anymore. I want to give them a round of applause. And you know what? The whole concept of the Hall of Fame might be foreign to you guys over here in the UK, but it's a very North American thing that we do. And I would absolutely love if they increase the number of inductees from 2 to a larger number to just make it a little bit feasible to get more people in, because there's a lot of people who deserve their name in that list. I think a lot of these guys are going to be in that list eventually, but it's going to take a long time for some of the players that you guys love today to get in there. You're not going to see a David Silva in there for a long time, because David Silva is not, he has a lot of guys to get ahead of, that are in there ahead of him. There's a lot of guys in there ahead of him. Steven Gerrard, it's going to take him a while to get in. Lampard, it's going to take him a while to get in. It's going to take these guys a while to get into that list. But yeah, guys, if you're watching on Twitter or if you're watching on YouTube, wherever you're watching, guys on Twitter, you can watch the full video back on YouTube. Guys on YouTube, do me a favor, smash a like on the video and have yourselves a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the two guys who've made it at the front of the queue are Henry and Shearer, and it looks like they're going to be the first respectable Hall of Famers. Respect to everybody, but yeah, I gotta go. Have yourselves a wonderful day, guys. Peace.